Hey guys, hello, hi. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Just do a test first. I'm actually presenting from home today. Hello, Jacob. Nice to see you guys. Hi, Bandu. Yes, good morning. It's actually afternoon here, but nice to see you. Hi, Lorenzo. I'm so sorry if you guys were waiting to see Cass. She's collecting her passport, so I'm here to not take over. I'm here to help her out a bit today. It's a nice day. Let's wait for more people to come in. Okay, can you guys see my screen actually? So today is a live analysis, right? If you guys have any charts, Bitcoin, stocks, you guys want to look for, oh, sorry, like nice buy-in entries, post in the question box, and we will be doing a few live analysis charts. Yeah, so we will wait for a few minutes for more people to come in. Anyone has any questions so far? You guys a bit disappointed. You see. Okay. Aussie USD. Okay, I see my first request for Aussie dollar. Okay, so let's do Aussie. Oh, that's my stocks list. Okay, so let's check Aussie dollar together. Then if it's a nice setup, we can actually look at Aussie yen, right? So how do we, okay, so Cass is a really good trader, and she would have gone through the usual trading process with you guys. So if we see good setups, we will go for it. But if it's a bad, if it's a okay setup, I'll just say it's relatively like 60%. I wouldn't 100% recommend, but okay. So on the weekly, we see a descending trend line here, right? It's not the best one, but there's 3 touches. So we know that from larger time frame, usually price likes to abide by the higher time frames, right? So this it's actually on the weekly, is actually on a descending trend. So we go down to a daily, we can see there's buying pressure here, right? So we can say that the ascending trend line and the descending trend line is what I'll be looking out for when I'm moving into the smaller time frame. Okay, and right now I believe we are close to a resistance level at here if I'm looking at 4 hourly. Okay, so so what I think is that price is actually in the middle. This is actually a resistance level here, but it's actually not very clear whether price is trying to go up or go down. If it tests here, obviously, then it would have been a buy up, right? If it tests here, it's going down. But right now, we are not in the best of entries. I would not actually enter if I have not yet, right? So if you guys want to go in for a small short, you all can look for a reversal perhaps at, if it tests this trend line, you guys can maybe look out for a reaction then. But if not, I wouldn't recommend you guys to enter in right now because it is a bit dangerous. I think there's potential for more upside, but as you know, when we trade, we look for higher probability, right? So we look for the price to go to the levels instead of us trying to force it to happen. So I think it can reach about, let's see, perhaps the next level at maybe, okay, so I think it's in between these 2 levels. So let's see for this, the next level is 78. Okay. Okay, for myself, I will wait for the price to test around this level. It might be a bit higher. I'm expecting a bit here. If I'm moving smaller time frame, right? I'm expecting looking out at this level, 2 Fibonacci confluences. Okay, so this would probably be my entry. Okay, and as with all trading, we have to put a stop loss. So this would probably be my stop loss. Okay, and if we are here, I will enter in probably so this would probably also be in alignment with the, I think this is a bit overextended, so probably at least 200. Projection 1.6 is here, 200, it's an overextended area here. Okay, and here probably about the 1.2. 100% is here, 1.2. Okay, so what I'm seeing is actually, I think there's a potential for a small reversal. Guys, give me a moment. I'm stuck here. Let me know if you guys can hear me properly, or if you guys can't hear me properly. So I think the short would have, there will be definitely a reaction here, and especially at this level of entry. I would expect price to maybe make a small turn here, test this trend line, and go down. And if you guys want to play safe, right, I would say you guys maybe can just play to maybe the play the reaction towards the support level, which is here. I think here is a nice support level. Okay, so what you guys can do is watch this level and this area actually for a reversal. Okay, manage your stop loss properly at the next Fibonacci, which means if it goes above this descending trend line and 78.6%, you are you'll break out of the weekly descending trend line. So, and then you will actually play a reversal here. I will actually put a moving stop loss because even with the best probability trades these days, we are seeing a lot of market movements that cause trades to be not very accurate. So I will actually do a okay. So I'm expecting price to go. I will wait for price to actually, if price tests this level, it will reverse, right? And then I will actually consider I would not go in on a buy entry right now because it's hovering in the middle, right? And then it's very hard to find a good buy-in entry. So rather than that, I would rather you wait for the levels to come to you, meaning wait for price to go all the way to this Fibonacci confluence, right? And then wait for the reversal. Your stop loss is here. It's a bit of how to say, a bit risk, the risk to reward ratio maybe it's just 1 is to, let me measure. It's not the best. Oh, sorry. But I'll actually wait for the level. Guys, do you have any questions? Are you actually on a buy? So actually price is going upwards right now, but what I'm saying is to find better probability trades, it's better to actually look for levels with more confluences and also to block out the areas where it's higher probability. So to find good trades, obviously you go to the biggest time frame to find the general trend, right? And we can see 3 tests on this trend line, which says that this trend line is relatively stronger, especially if it's on a bigger time frame. And there's a small bullish momentum going on here. So if we go on to the 4-hourly and hourly, it's still going to abide to the bigger time frame. And then we use the recent price action to find support and resistance levels and Fibonacci confluences, this 78.6% retracement and the 61.8%. One is projection, one is retracement. So this 78 is a projection. The other 61.8, 78.6 is a retracement. 71.8 is actually a, what am I saying? Okay, the 61.8 is the projection, and these two you can see is very nicely in confluence. So it's a higher level of confidence. We know that there is definitely a reaction if you reach this point. However, the weekly time frame is saying that it might be a bit higher. Usually there will be a bit of wick, leaving a bit of room for a wick for the reversal. So if it turns here, then you actually reverse and you'll see a nice short here. What about the fully full? Okay, so what I've learned from trading on candles for weekly is sometimes it's not very accurate because there is delay for the candle to form. I think candle patterns are very accurate for scalping. If you're doing very fast reversals like double tweezer bottoms, it's very easier. It's relatively easier to catch the reversals. But if you're doing on a larger time frame where the span is very long, sometimes personally I don't feel that candlestick patterns is accurate for my trading style. But if you guys are confident in trading that way, you can try. I mean, there are people with different trading styles, but for me personally, I like price action. So I like to go on a bigger time frame to see where the price momentum is going. Then I zoom down and see if there's any chart patterns like trend lines, because trend lines on bigger time frames are quite decently accurate if you zoom into smaller time frames. That's just for me. So I will look for this area for a short level. This is a very I would say this is actually a very large area. I will enter and leave 1 to 3% for my stop loss here. But if you guys enter higher, right, then it's good for you guys because you guys get in at a better entry. So I think the closer you are to this descending trend line, the better it is. So or you guys might want to spread 3 entries. So divide your lot size into 3 different parts. One from here, one from the 200% projection, one from the 127.2 extension, and actually go by a short from here. But I would wait for the price to actually reach the level before I go for a short because I already missed this entry. If I entered here, I will probably hold along all the way until my entry. But since I have not, then that is my bias for now. Anyone has any questions? Is it confusing? Is it confusing? Or anyone want to look at other charts? Bitcoin, USD, JPY. Can I just check with you guys? Do you guys have access to this HMC Trader? No? I want to show you guys my trade analysis. Okay, so this is actually from EFG. I think by right you guys should have, because HMC Trader, okay, so what we do is we plan signals. It's not 100% accurate, but we have a relatively high accuracy rate. So I believe did I do USD JPY today? This is not today, right? This is yesterday. Okay, yeah, this was my trade from yesterday. It bounced nicely and then went all the way to my resistance. Let me see. This is today. Yeah, I'm seeing potential for short on DXY. If you guys are trading this and you're short, I think it should reach these support levels. It's dipping nicely. I think you guys should have access to this. Maybe I check with Tess. Okay. So okay, I have a few requests. USD JPY. Let me see. Okay. So one advice I can give which helped me a lot in my trading process is that I would plan like the levels rather than every day looking at the trades itself. I will look at the levels that have higher probability on the weekends. then I'll wait for price to go towards me before I actually go in on any trades. That's just me personally. Okay, so I think this is so on the weekly, I think this is a quite a good level of resistance, which is why I would call for a reaction. Okay, and if not right now, I'm on a larger time frame. I'm gonna look at the levels of confluences to. So right now, okay, but breaking this level might mean that it might go all the way higher. So there's still a level of probability that you might be wrong, but this should be 100% if I'm not wrong. Okay, so we don't use 100% retracement, so I can't use this level. Okay, so right now, it actually broke the 161, but you guys can see this is a nice level of overlap, right, on the weekly. I'm calling for a reaction for a small short here. Yeah, we are at about the 161. I'm gonna remove this because it's not a very nice trend. Okay, so if I'm on the daily, okay, and okay, I see the trend better, but it's still not a very nice perfect trend per se. In terms of Fibonacci, it already surpassed the one, so it's already an overextended level. Yeah, I think it's 2 is away over. So if it breaks this level, like if it's a very clean break, it means that it definitely will go to the overextended 200%. So that is, I'm gonna leave this here. Okay, and if I'm on the 4-hourly, the reaction actually is happening right now, right? We see the reaction. So it's only whether fundamentals is driving DXY higher up, or can we actually watch for the potential reaction? I think it's 1.6 around there. Not wrong. Okay. Okay, so right now we're on a 4-hourly. If there's a reaction only, right? Think we can look to trade to the graphical swing. Okay, so now right now we are on the hourly. Okay, and this is already an overextended. Okay, I won't say this is the best chart to actually trade because firstly, DXY is very driven by the fundamentals these days, which means any war news will actually cause potential inaccuracy in your analysis. So guys, do be careful, right? 161, this is not the best. So what about this? Give me a moment, guys. Let me do my Fibonacci confluences. Okay, so guys, if I were to arrange, I will actually trade a short one, right, from here to here. But give me a moment. Let me check if it's oversold levels. There's divergence spotted on hourly, right? You guys can see here market is making higher highs, right? But RSI is actually making lower highs, right? So this is a divergence spotted on RSI. That is one case where we believe there might be a reaction going on. One support for the reaction right now. Okay, my Ichimoku is not working. Ichimoku is not telling me much actually. I'm going on 30 minutes. Okay, so I wouldn't say this is the best setup, firstly, right? Even though there's a divergence on the RSI. Okay. On the hourly, I don't think it's the best setup in my opinion. Okay, right. And even though there's Fibonacci confluence here, yeah, so trade at your own risk. Make sure you mitigate your risk if you plan on trading this. I think 1.2 is here. If you guys want to trade this, right, I would say set your stop loss very tight here. Because if it bounces up, which it means that it's probably gonna be even bullish already. Okay, but the divergence on hourly did not take place, and the fact that it's been on bullish momentum too far overdue might mean that it's due for a reaction. So for USD JPY, there's a potential for a short reaction towards the 23.6%, but this is not guaranteed, not 100%, guys. Trade at your own risk, right? Yeah, Ichimoku is still saying that it's pretty bearish. If I'm looking at 15 minutes, a bit of bearishness, but I would say, guys, make sure that you guys mitigate your risk, and this is a descending trend here. There is a potential for this setup, but it's not a very high one. So the risk to reward ratio, if you set it this way, is quite decent, right? So you guys can go in potentially for a short and towards this confluence area. If it reach your stop loss, then that's I would say this is the best trade lah, honestly. So yeah, but definitely the reaction is there. Entry, and then if you really want to trade, then go in for take profit. Any question? Harina, does that answer your question? Do you see the XY, JXY for yeah, I do see the direction bias for DXY for my USD JPY trade, because this is very the primary USD forms a very big it forms my bias quite a bit. So yeah, I think there's a potential for short. You can actually take partial profits here, like move your stop loss lower when you're in break even, so that you if it suddenly reverses and continue its bullish momentum, right, you don't lose a lot. But this, I won't say this is a very decent trade, because the larger trend is actually going upwards, right? But on the weekly, we're actually at remember I found a level, we're actually at a weekly resistance. So fundamentals is saying that it still might go up, but then it's actually move your stop loss and set a trailing stop loss, so that if it reverses at this level here, then at least you won't be caught unaware. But there's a level of Fibonacci confluences here, so potentially I would say there is say 55% that there will be a reaction. There's a very nice divergence here on 4-hourly as well. If you guys seen this, market is making higher highs, but so the short has not happened yet. You guys can take note of the levels, right? Then even if you don't go in on a trade, next time when you're considering your own trading, you can use divergence and how I went in to identify the trade to work out your own analysis. Okay, all right, guys, if that's okay, then I would move on to the next request. Pound dollar. How do I get access? I believe you have to have a Vantage account. Yeah, but I would have to check that. I have to check with Cass also, because from what I know, it should be allowed, right? But I could be wrong. Okay, so as usual, I like to go on the larger time frame, right? And we see that on the larger time frame, there's actually a bearish divergence, which has been played out potentially, but we can see that price is also very bullish. This is a resistance level, right, that price tends to short from. Let me see on the money. Okay, so on the money is even more clear. We are actually approaching this resistance level, okay, but the thing is pound is actually on bullish momentum if you guys were seeing. So we're actually at this resistance level on the monthly. Okay, and price has tested off several times here, but as you guys can see, it's actually ascending pressure here. So it's a triangular pattern, and price constantly, when you reach this level, it tends to short, right? So a higher probability trade is that I will go in for a short most likely, but the short could happen here because recently the wicks are actually, so your short could go potentially in this area. Okay, and then if I'm going on the daily, okay, so right now we are at 1.2. I will put my stop loss quite tight at 1.6. Okay, so my stop loss will be here, stop loss, and my potential TP will be here. This is for a swing trade, by the way, but if you guys want a TP earlier, feel free. Just make sure you shift your break even lower. So price is approaching this resistance area that we have found, that there's blocks here that you guys can see it reverse from, right? So as price travels here, I believe you should move your stop loss to break even just in case it reverses, right? So what I feel is that it's a short from the level entry here. So if I'm drawing a Fibonacci, I'm pretty sure it's a confluence area too. It's here, 78.6. And if I'm drawing a projection, oh, we already drawn a projection that was okay. As usual, guys, regardless of how convincing we sound, do practice your own do make sure you practice your own analysis and you solidly believe in what you trade on, right? So what we analyze today, the markets can still be shaken by what's happening in the West. So we should be careful. But we're actually at this resistance level where dips previously happened here. So this is another way how you can see that it's actually at approaching overbought levels already. So yeah, if I'm going on hourly, 15 minutes. What I like to do when I enter is that I like to make sure that I have confirmation on the smaller time frames. So that's just what I do. If you guys go in for short, potentially this is a level that you guys can take partial profits. Okay, because I know like it can take a long time before price travel all the way down. So you guys can either take partial profits here or move your stop loss to break even to prevent any loss. But we can see that it's at oversold levels even on the smaller RSI already. So this is how you guys can actually Amina say, can you please repeat? I can't understand. Which part would you like me to repeat? Is it very am I speaking very fast? I am so sorry. I think I will wait either for this area for a short. Okay, so the thing is, I think the short entry could be higher potentially. It can be here, or actually the 27.2 area, this area here. So maybe around this level, but make sure you give why I block out the entry levels is because you should give enough space if you think that you might miss entry. So I think the reversal probably would happen around here, actually. But I usually give a bit of breathing space when I plan for my risk to reward ratio. So this is what I do. But I think the best entry you can enter is actually around here, where there is the recent swing highs. This is the proper resistance. This is the weekly resistance. Yeah. So, oh, okay. Amina say, no worries. We can go through other charts. Then probably you can. I'll try and be a bit slower. So, how you find good trades is always, just structurally, just go on the larger time frame and see and if there's any chart patterns that you see. So you form your direction bias on the larger time frame, whether it's going up or down. If you're trading by price action or if you're trading. So for here, price test this level, okay. And okay, so you can see that previous there was a low at this level and it's overlapped too. At this level, it's where it cuts price cleanly at this level, right? So which is why it tests here again and bounce. So our bias is likely that it's gonna be a bit bullish, okay? And if we are moving on, okay, another way to find is that if this is, okay, so this is not a ascending trend line. So what you want to do is you look for chart patterns, descending trend lines, ascending trend lines, channels. If you find one on a bigger time frame, it's a very high chance that a price likes to abide by it. This is a very strong support turn resistance as well. So this will be a level I would watch for. Okay, so right now you can see price actually bounced off here, reacted off here, and price reacted off here. So this is a very nice resistance level that we are looking for, right? Okay, and whoa. So on the 4-hourly, this is a bit difficult because it actually tests off the resistance and it's not a very clear sign of direction from here. It's actually in the middle of our support and resistance. Okay. Personally, I'm on the fence on this one because there's no clear sign of chart patterns. There's no clear trend line. It seemed to have reacted off the resistance already. If we were at this resistance, I would say go for a short because it was a support turn resistance. But right now, the reaction has already happened. So I will not go in on this trade. Yeah, I will not actually go in on this trade because it's not a very clear sign whether market is moving up or not. If you are taking this as a recent support, it's very hard to substantiate because there's only one point of reference, right? And it's not very clear. Yeah, let's not go on this chart because it's not a very high probability trade. And I personally like Cass, I mean, we rather go in on like better trades and then we all, higher probability. So I think this one is not very clear. I wouldn't call this for a short or long. I will only say that we are around the 23-30%. We are around this level. It's not very clear where it is. If it actually reverse and go up, then I would say you definitely touch this resistance level again. If not, I'll just stay out. Yeah, it's not very clear. Okay, guys, any questions? Okay, stay out of this. Okay, so next is XAD Gold, our favorite. Yay. Okay, so for gold, oh, this is not. Okay, we're actually seeing a very sharp dip in gold for quite some time, especially after FOMC yesterday. Did you guys? So this is a level of resistance where the short has begun on the daily. If you guys have highlighted this, you would have known that there would potentially would have been a short, right? The highest point was there. Okay, so we should go on. Guys can see that the support is also here. Yeah, which is where the bounce has taken place very cleanly here, right? So just now, Amina, you said that you are new to this. So how you practice first is you start going by larger time frame, identify key market structures like this, high points. This is where you usually find reactions. So this was the previous high, right? And then if you actually drew the level here when it was on a, you would know like the reversal most likely will happen here. So this is how you find key areas to key reversals on the larger time frame to strategically plan out your trades. So right now, we can see that gold is actually on bullish momentum. And then okay, so there was a breakout from here. The resistance levels I identify would be so in case you guys are confused what I'm doing, I'm actually looking for key support and resistance level. Right now, I can see if there will be a $10 move most likely to this resistance level, right? If you guys are on the hourly, there'll be a $10 move most likely here towards this resistance because it's quite a strong level of resistance at least. But breaking this will find gold moving even higher. So right now, 23%, 30%. Okay. Okay. Okay, so actually price has the tendency, I think, to move towards this 38.2 right now. I believe we are most likely in bullish momentum already. Ichimoku is already forecasting the bullish move. Okay, so if you want to go in on gold, I would say go in for a long and potentially your TP. First TP can be here, right? TP, and then you can actually go even higher. So I would go in from this level after if it retests or at least at this level, actually it's actually on bullish momentum. So after it surpassed this level, it's going to go to the next level of 38.2. So we would set a tight stop loss after in profit, but the general trend is upward. So it already passed the best entry, which was here, right? But we can see that it's actually changing to be on bullish momentum. And right now I feel like after the very long dip, the market has been it's overdue on its bullish momentum. Bearish so how to say, it's actually oversold already, which means that most likely the bullish momentum will be there. So if it retests this level, right, you can consider to go in for a long towards first about a $9 move towards this first resistance, then actually take partial profits or wait for the second hold to the second resistance if you are daring. So this is the two levels I'll actually highlight. First resistance, second resistance. Yeah. But overall the movement is bullish. I don't know if you enter in on this support to go in for a buy. The famous one manipulated. Karuna tree. What do you mean famous manipulator? Okay, so someone asked about gold. I don't think it's a good setup, but if you are already in, I think it's a long, right? So I believe it will go most likely go all the way to the second resistance, but you can actually just hold for right now. It's about an $8 move. It's not bad too. You can go on a smaller time frame, right? And if it retests this level, to go in on a buy entry to here, and it's quite bullish in my opinion. So if you on a buy, congrats to you. If you went in here, and it should go all the way here. Yeah. So let's go for you. Euro USD. What do you mean famously manipulated? Euro USD is actually in a triangle right now, consolidating in a triangle pattern. Right. So if it breaks this descending trend line, then I would say it's definitely bullish for sure. I'm actually on the fence on this one because right now euro currency is on the verge of recovery, right? And especially after such a long yeah, so I will wait if there's a reversal or break on this descending trend line. Okay, so we can actually do a Fibonacci here to see what levels it's at. It's closer to 60. Projection is not there. I actually see potential for it to reach this resistance level. Why? Because there was a descending trend line. So on a larger time frame, there was a descending trend line. There was artificial dip. I mean, okay. So it has been very long, bearish trend line here. 3 touches, right? So it's a strong weekly trend line. Which is why I think there's potential for retest and why I think that there's potential for upside. So I will actually remove this. So right now, if we're looking at the higher time frame, I think there's potential for long for the upside towards this level. Perhaps I would watch this level. If it breaks, it means that it might reach all the way to this descending trend line. If it reverses, then it will retest this ascending trend line support. So this is what I think about Euro USD. If it breaks this line, then the next level that we will watch for is actually here. It's a level of resistance as well, and also in line with our $78.6. No, it's not in line with the retracement. Yeah, but this is graphically a nice resistance level to look out for. Projection wise, this should be 1.2. So I will watch for this level. If it breaks this level, or it breaks the triangular pattern that I mentioned, right? Actually, if you draw the trend line this way, so I will still watch for this level because there could be a retest here. If it does not retest, or if it reached here, it means, and it breaks, it means that it's going to go all the way to 127.2. So these are the first resistance and second resistance level that I will watch for. And then if it comes down here, I will also go in for a buy entry because this is also a level of support that I would watch for. So entry. But I will watch if there's any news that will support my statement. So these are the levels that perhaps you guys can look out for if you're trading on this pair. Any questions? Can zoom a bit. Understand, thank you. Okay, pound kiwi. Okay. Pound kiwi. As usual, we go on the weekly, and on the weekly, it seems to be on a ascending trend line support. Okay, right, and then go on the daily. It has tested off the weekly support and bounced, so that's a good thing. Okay. And the level of resistance that I can see is actually here. So right now, if price were to retest out, so this is a double tweezer bottom, by the way, guys. It's a reversal pattern. Okay, so I'm actually more leaning towards a buy on this one. And my stop loss would be here, the recent swing low, and this is my level of resistance. Okay, so I'll wait for price to actually retest my entry and potentially go in for a buy entry. So yeah. So how we get to that is that firstly on RSI we can see a bullish momentum coming up from here. Ichimoku is showing a bit of a sign of bullishness. If you guys can see on small time frame, price is consolidating here, but it's actually hovering straightways. Or you can see that RSI is actually making a bullish momentum here. So my direction bias is more bullish. If you are playing more of a small one, I'll say perhaps you can just play, I think you should wait for price to reach your buy entry on test on the ascending trend line for support before you go in on any buy entries, and play to the recent swing high, which is your first resistance. So this is what I would likely do. Okay. So right now, I'm moving Fibonacci. It's about here. Okay, actually this is a bit messy because price is actually hovering around this area on the 4-hourly, and it's actually in the middle of my support resistance. But I would wait if it actually retests my first support if I were to go in. If not, I would miss the entry already. and this is actually a bullish divergence, meaning that price is making same heights, but RSI is actually making higher highs. So the bullish momentum is sort of shown here, okay, but the entry is not the best. So even if you enter, right, there's only a limited upside to this, so I wouldn't necessarily go in on this. Okay, Euro pound for Bakut. Okay, so this, anyone trading on crypto? I mean, crypto, just curious, because I personally invested a bit. Just want to know your thoughts. Do you guys trade on any cryptocurrencies? Okay. So Euro pound on the larger time frame, we are seeing that it's on bearish momentum. But if we're on daily, okay, I'm also seeing it's at a resistance level. Okay. So I see a channel here, right? And the resistance level is here. So potentially could be going in for a short. So the short would have started here, right? And right now I'm looking at here. The support level that I can identify is actually at this level, which is a previous swing low. Okay. And then my stop loss would be at where it previously tested my channel. So this will be my stop loss. This will be my entry, and this would, so this is a 61%, 61.8% retracement and 61.8% Fibonacci projection. So if you guys have went in here around this area, can potentially go in for a short towards this graphical swing low and this level where there was 61.8 and 61.8% projection, Fib projection. So I'm a short for this. Bakut, are you a short on this as well? Yes, okay, that's great. Personally, I would be a short on this, but I'll wait for the best entry actually. So Ichimoku is saying mixed signal, so we shall ignore it. But the thing is, there is a bearish divergence here. So this is bearish here, right? And then so how you tell it's a bearish divergence is that market is making higher highs, but RSI is making lower lows. So we know that there is a short movement. I will watch this level if there's any risk of reversals. So make sure you set a moving type stop loss just in case it suddenly reverse halfway, because it happens sometimes. So what you can do is you check at each level of support and shift your stop loss slowly down to your entry. So I will go in for a short, and either you partially take profit or you move your stop loss slowly down. Okay, so yep, that is for Euro pound. Do you guys have any more questions? Anyone doing any other trades? I feel like Euro pound is a decent one because the, even though on a smaller time frame it's a bit messy, but it's a legit channel on the bigger time frame. And the bearish divergence on the 4 hourly is actually quite, yeah, it has not played out fully yet, so we can, but Dude, I hope you enter in at the best short level, which is here, because if price decides to do a retest, it might actually climb here. So you might, if you entered here, you might want to put your stop loss lower. Okay, guys. Do you guys? Oh, someone said SP100. Sorry. Ah, what was the ticker again? Suddenly brain fart. Sorry, what's the ticker again for S&P 100? I suddenly forgot. Which is the ticker that you actually trade on? Okay, I don't see any reply. I'm sorry, guys. I'm very sick now with COVID and I'm presenting, so pardon me for my brain farting and low spirits today. Okay, but we can actually do, is it S&P? Yeah, we can actually do this. I think you meant S&P 500. I see S&P 100, so I'm like, yeah, but we can do this. Okay, and then we can see that price has broken out of the descending trend line, right? And it's actually on bullish momentum. So guys, from fundamentals perspective, we are relatively more bullish on tech stocks because recently the talks are more mild, right? They are saying that Ukraine is giving in and it's not as aggressive as before, but the war is still ongoing. So any news of further retaliation on any country's part, hostility, aggression, etc., is gonna cause the price to go down again. So one resistance level that I will identify is here is probably the 78.6%, right? But whatever trades that you guys go in, just make sure you put a moving stop loss, because right now any reversals are possible, right? So this might not be an entry, might be a long to here. If it breaks, then you go to the next level of resistance, which is here, because it broke already. But I'm seeing potential for a small reaction here at this resistance level. So you guys can look out for this level. If you are TPing, you can look out for this level. If you're looking for a short, potentially this could be a level that you guys can look out for. So if there's no questions, then I will be ending my webinar today. Okay, and thank you, Harana. Thank you, Baku. Thank you, Amina, so much. Thank you guys all for coming and staying tuned. Lily, I will check for you how you can gain access. I'm not sure if it's there yet. We have it for most brokers. Usually I will blast good trades around, guys. So yeah, it's up for discussion. So you guys can look out for that. Yeah, and that's it for today, guys. So trade safe, stay safe. Don't be like me. I didn't stay safe. And I contacted the virus. So guys, have a nice day. See you guys. Bye.